All right, let's dive in. Today, we're going to take a journey together, a really special one. We're talking about the Kashi Yatra, this ancient pilgrimage. Think of this as our guide to exploring the spiritual heart of Varanasi one step at a time. But before we get into the nuts and bolts, I want to start with a question, something to kind of chew on as we go through this. What actually turns a bunch of rituals into a timeless journey, you know? What makes it so profound? Let's keep that in the back of our minds. Okay, first things first. To really get what this pilgrimage is all about, we've got to go back, way back. Because you see, the reason people did the Kashi Yatra, well, that has changed. A lot. So check this out. It's a pretty wild evolution. Back in ancient times, going to Kashi, that was often a one-way trip. It was the final journey. People who were in the Vanaprastha stage of life, they've raised their kids, done their duties, they would go to Kashi to seek mukti, or total liberation. But then things changed. Transportation got better. So it shifted into a pilgrimage for elders who would go, complete the rituals, and then come back home. And now, in the modern era, it's completely opened up. It's a journey of devotion for people of all ages, thanks to modern travel. Yeah, so you can really see the shift right here. It went from being this final passage, this path of leaving the world behind, to a devotional return. It's an act of faith you do to enrich the life you're still living. It's amazing, right? Same city, same river, but a totally different reason for going.
So what's the big deal about Kashi? Why do millions of people go there? Well, it really boils down to three core things, this kind of sacred trinity that every single pilgrim experiences. Let's get into it.
First up, you've got the city itself, Kashi, what many of you know as Varanasi. This place is one of the oldest continuously inhabited cities in the world. And right at its core, you have the Kashi Vishwanath Temple. This isn't just any temple. It's one of the 12 Jyotirlingas. Think of them as these incredibly powerful, self-born symbols of Lord Shiva. It's basically his home address on earth. And then, of course, there's the river, the Ganga. Here, it's so much more than just water. It's seen as a living, breathing goddess. The belief is that just one dip in its holy water can cleanse you of your sins and help you find liberation. It's truly the lifeblood of Kashi, where so many sacred rituals happen right on the ghats, those steps leading down to the water. And that brings us to the third part of the Trinity, the man himself, Lord Shiva. The Kashi Vishwanath Temple, that's his house. The whole pilgrimage, every single thing you do, it all comes back to one thing, seeking the blessings of this incredibly powerful deity. All right, so now that we've got the why, let's talk about the how. The Kashi Yatra isn't just a wander around the city. There's a traditional sequence, a set of 7 sacred steps. It's like a spiritual roadmap, and we're going to walk through it. So here's our game plan. We're going to start by seeking blessings from the guardian. Then, we purify in the river. After that, we visit the divine residence, honor the other deities inside, learn a bit about divine nourishment, complete a sacred circle, and finally witness this incredible river of light. Let's break down what each of those actually means. Okay, step 1. And this is really interesting. You don't start at the main temple. Nope. The very first thing you do is go to the Kala Bhairava temple. He's considered the guardian of Kashi, kind of like its chief of security. You have to ask for his permission first. It's believed his blessing is what ensures your whole pilgrimage goes smoothly. All right, you've got the green light from the guardian. What's next? Step 2 is all about purification. You head down to the Ganga for a holy bath. This is super symbolic. It's about washing away your sins and getting yourself ready, spiritually, for what's to come. And if you're looking for a good spot, Hanuman Ghat is a place a lot of people recommend. Okay, now you're ready. Step 3 is the main event, visiting the Kashi Vishwanath Temple, Lord Shiva's home. And hey, just a quick pro tip if you're ever planning to go. They are super strict about no phones or cameras inside, so you've got to leave them behind, either at your hotel or in one of the lockers they have there. Step 4 is about realizing that the main temple isn't just one single building. The whole complex is like this bustling spiritual ecosystem. So part of the pilgrimage is to explore and pay your respects at the other shrines you'll find there, for Ganesha, for Hanuman, and others. It's all part of the experience. Next up, step 5. We're heading to the Annapurna Temple. And this one has an amazing story behind it. Annapurna Devi is the goddess of food, of nourishment, and her connection to Kashi is absolutely crucial. We're going to get into that whole story in just a little bit, so stick around. For step 6, it's about completing what's known as the sacred circle. This involves visiting a couple more really important temples. There's the Sankata Devi Temple, where you pray to overcome obstacles, and the Sankat Mochan Hanuman Temple, for the one and only Lord Hanuman.
It kind of ties the whole spiritual journey together.
And that brings us to step 7, the grand finale. This is how you close out the day. As the sun sets, everyone gathers at the ghats for the Ganga Aarti. Oh man, it's just incredible. It's this beautiful, powerful ceremony with fire, music, chanting, all offered to the river. It's something you will never, ever forget.
Okay, remember how I said we'd come back to the Annapurna Temple? Well, now's the time. To really get why this place is so important, we need to hear a story. It's a story about let's call it a cosmic disagreement between Lord Shiva and Goddess Parvati.
So the story goes that one day, Lord Shiva, in all his cosmic wisdom, basically says, you know what, everything in this world, even food, it's all just Maya. It's an illusion. A pretty big statement, right? Well, Goddess Parvati, she was not having it.
So, to prove her point, Parvati, who is literally the embodiment of all of nature, just disappears. And when she goes, everything goes with her. The earth dries up, crops fail, a massive famine sweeps across the land, and everyone, gods, demons, humans, they all started to starve. Suddenly, that illusion of food felt pretty darn real.
But Parvati couldn't bear to see everyone suffer. So filled with compassion, she comes back. But she comes back in Kashi, in the form of Annapurna, the goddess of food. And she has this magical pot that never runs out, and she just starts feeding everyone, bringing the world back to life. And the best part? Even Lord Shiva himself had to come to her with a begging bowl, totally humbled.
And that's the big lesson, right there. Food, nourishment, it's not some illusion. It's the foundation of life itself. And that's why her temple is in Kashi. It's a promise that in this holy city, no one should ever go hungry. It teaches us that to feed someone else, well, that's one of the greatest acts of devotion you can perform. And that powerful idea of nourishment brings us right back to our journey's end, the finale. After a long day of walking, praying, and reflecting, you find yourself back at the Ganga, ready for that incredible river of light. So, there you have it. We've seen how the Kashi Yatra changed from a final goodbye to a journey for everyone. We've looked at the sacred trio of the city, the river, and the deity. We've walked through all 7 steps, which brings me back to that very first question I asked. Is a pilgrimage like this really about getting to the final temple? Or is it about who you become on the way there? Definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining me for this little explainer.